Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Route 104 in Alexandria reopens following fatal crash. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9. Charisse LeClaire.
Back in the day, Bell-Tates knew that if we provided quality products and honest service, customers would come back again and again. Have things changed? Sure. But what hasn't is Bell-Tates' commitment to giving you a fair price and friendly service. Visit us at belltates.com.
Into the newsroom tonight, Route 104 in Alexandria is back open at this hour following a fatal crash. The driver has been identified as Peter Broder of Andover. Police say his vehicle crashed into a mailbox, went into an embankment up into the tree line, and then rolled over. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Four Thoughton high school students killed in crash, 15 in hospital. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
When facing a family crisis, you need Cervisi and Associates. With over 20 years of experience, we focus exclusively on divorce and family law. You can count on our team to provide personal attention, integrity, and dedication.
Belief, I said, no, this just has to be a nightmare. This can't be true.
4 young lives lost, a community in mourning. 16-year-old Nick Joyce, the others just 17, David Bell, Eric Sarblaw, and Christopher Desir.
David was just, he was a great person. He was going to do big things in life. Nick, I used to give him a hard time because he was like the little brother to me.
All 4 teens were passengers in a friend's car when they veered off of West Street, crashing into a tree in East Bridgewater Saturday. The scene drawing tears from loved ones who came to seek some solace from an unimaginable loss, while others sought out connection in the place where the teens found life.
Sad scene over there, it should have happened. They should be here competing.
Dozens gathering at a track meet where 2 of the friends were set to compete on Sunday.
And from what I understand, they would have broken a record if they competed today.
And it wasn't just track. On the football field, too, through sport, a motto that now holds even deeper meaning and connection for the classmates left struggling with undoubtedly difficult emotions.
It's us meet together forever. And basically what that is it's just our brotherhood, and no matter what happens, nothing can break the bonds that we share. We just all stick together, and we'll always have something that kind of connects us.
A 5th teen survived this crash. The driver, he remains in the hospital this evening. The investigation into how this happened is ongoing. We're live in Stoughton. Nicole Estefan, WCVB News Center 5.
All right, Nicole, thank you. And News Center 5's Todd Kaskiewicz continues our team coverage with how Stoughton High School is helping students. Todd?
Nicole, good evening. Grief counselors have been here consoling students, staff members, and family members since about noontime today, and they will be here for the long term. Shortly after the crash last night in East Bridgewater came the devastating news that 4 teenage boys had perished. They were student athletes here at Stoughton High School. The 5th boy, the only survivor, is in the hospital. He is also a Stoughton High School student. Some fellow students are gathering at the scene to pay their respects, while others have been coming to the school all day. Everyone, as you can imagine, is struggling to cope with the enormity of this tragedy. Here's the superintendent speaking about the emotional support available right now and for the long term.
This is not the kind of thing that you heal from quickly. The recovery is long. We will be available for everyone who needs us for as long as they need us. We will be opening school tomorrow. I do not anticipate we will have a normal day, but it is important for students to have their routines if they want and need them.
Support is coming not only from within the community, but outside as well. Neighboring school districts have offered to send counselors as well to augment the crisis team here. The superintendent says Stoughton will accept those offers. Counselors will be here at the school until 8 o'clock tonight and then back when school reopens tomorrow. Reporting live in Stoughton, Todd Kaskiewicz, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Mainers welcome George H.W. Bush back to Maine. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
The upgrade at Nissan's Tech for All sales event. Get 0% financing on every model, including Rogue with ProPilot Assist. Hurry, event ends soon.
Now's the time to save with exclusive offers like this.
The Kennebunkport community giving a warm welcome to President George H.W. Bush as he returns to Maine. This year, he is without his wife, former First Lady Barbara Bush. She passed away last month after suffering from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and congestive heart failure. Today, locals greeted him as he passed through Dock Square on his way to Walker's Point.
Oh, it means everything just to wish him well and to let him know that we love and care about him and how good it is that he's going to be back here with us.
So we like to wave and show some support for our former president.
President Bush was recently hospitalized just one day after Barbara's funeral. Now, he was in the intensive care unit at Houston Methodist with a blood infection.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin declares U.S.-China trade war on hold as both sides work toward agreement. The U.S. trade war with China is on hold after the world's largest economies agreed to drop their tariff threats while they work on a wider trade agreement, U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said on Sunday. Santa Fe High School shooter studied previous mass shootings, acted alone, sources. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Try Zyrtec. It starts working hard in hour 1 and works twice as hard when you take it again the next day. Stick with Zyrtec and muddle no more.
Very different and much more somber ceremony.
That's right. Look at these pictures out of Santa Fe, Texas. Just a day after that horrifying school shooting, members of the high school baseball team hold a vigil before the game. The coach writing the initials of the victims on his arm.
And one of the students, the young man who you're going to see on the right hand of your screen here, his name is Rome Schubert. He was actually grazed by a bullet on the back of his head coming out to play nonetheless.
A show of strength as we learn much more about the alleged shooter, including startling new details from the mother of one of the young women who died in that attack. ABC's Marcus Moore is there in Santa Fe. Marcus, good morning.
Diane and Dan, good morning. The school just behind me will remain closed at least through Tuesday as this investigation enters a new phase and this community begins the process of trying to heal. New details are emerging this morning in the investigation into Friday's deadly shooting at this small town high school.
Everybody needs to clear out this way.
Overnight, students returning to the school for their belongings as investigators continue combing for clues. Eyewitnesses say the teenage suspect, Demetrius Bagorchis, entered from the back of the school, armed with 2 guns, and authorities say explosive devices, including CO2 cartridges wrapped with duct tape, a pressure cooker with a timer, and a Molotov cocktail. But none of those devices worked. Still, 10 people died, 8 students and 2 teachers.
I just don't get it. I don't understand why. Why would he do that?
This grieving mother's 16-year-old daughter, Shayna Fisher, among the 10 killed at Santa Fe High School. Law enforcement officials say they haven't determined what allegedly sent the 17-year-old suspect on a deadly rampage. However, Sadie Rodriguez says Demetrius had been pursuing her daughter Shayna for several months, and that Shayna's rejection made her a target.
He had been coming on to her and making advances, and she kept telling him no, and not even a week later, he just shoots everyone, and shoots, and she was the first one.
But according to the suspect's attorneys, the idea that their client may have been motivated by a grudge is pure speculation.
As that goes as far as a purported motivation for the crime, I would say no.
This morning, 12 people are still recovering in the hospital, among them Santa Fe ISD police officer John Barnes, who's being called a hero.
They're having a shooting at the high school, have an officer down, shooter not in custody.
Barnes, a former Houston police officer, was shot and suffered critical injuries. Friend and fellow law enforcement officer Captain Jimmy Dale said Barnes nearly died, but is expected to survive, yet he still cannot speak.
He doesn't want to be called a hero. His wife said he's going to hate this, but he is.
There are several vigils planned for later today and the funeral for one of the students who passed away here. But Diane and Dan, the family of the suspect, they released a statement saying they are shocked and confused by what happened, and they extended their heartfelt prayers and condolences to all of the victims.
I bet so many in that town feel that way. Marcus, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.